welcome back to Everything Lynn. I'm Lynn. So on this platform, we discuss trending topics, and sometimes I give you guys personal advice based on my own life experiences. This is one of those videos. You saw the title, let's get into it. Okay, so I would say I was the low maintenance girl from dating ages between 16 and 26-year-olds. So I had a 10-year stint of this. I would describe this as the everything's fine type girl, you know, the type where even though things aren't fine, everything's fine because you're scared to rock the boat, you're scared to make waves, you're scared to not be liked. Sure, by being nice and being approachable and being easy to get along with, you get guys' attention. Sometimes you wind up in relationships, but more often than not, I felt that I was taken for granted. My self-worth was just absolutely diminished. And more often than not, I think I was frustrated. I think I was more so frustrated because when you're in this stage, you don't know exactly what you want. All you know is that you don't want to be taken for granted anymore. You'd like somebody to make a fuss over you, but you don't really know exactly how to express that or how to convey that to the person that you're dating because you're so low maintenance. You want to be put on a pedestal. You want to be romanced. You want the nice dates. You want the big balloons, the nice gifts. But you don't want to come off as materialistic or a gold digger. Besides, your guy is usually like, oh, but I like natural girls. I like you just how you are. Don't change a thing. I don't really like girls who make a fuss of that. All the while, you see his eyes bug out and his neck turn for the girl who is anything but natural. So you're like, okay. Well, I mean, they're not in my relationship, and he does say that he prefers this, so I'll just continue on this path of not really giving too much of a fuss about myself. It's less expensive anyway. But that's how you end up with Publix fried chicken and gas station flowers, no drink, no nothing else, no gifts on your first anniversary. So as you can see, like I just felt very much taken for granted in this stage by not setting the tone and not having high standards for the men that I date or even myself. I think I learned most that the men that I was involved with, they didn't love me. They loved a good bargain. They didn't love me how I was. They loved a good sale. This is when I started stumbling into Hypergamy Hive. A time of social media flexes, the luxury women were bragging. And I was like, how do I get some of that? They got that on Amazon? I found some hard hitter content creators that had started me on my journey and got me playing chess in the dating game. I started to set up a game plan of who I needed to be to get where I wanted to go. Now the pros, they could be seen right away. Better treatment, taken seriously. I had higher standards. I was having better experiences. I was traveling, meeting people that were good for networking, very influential people that I wanted to know. I was in better circles, and I held myself to a higher standard. Always working out, I still do, but always working out, buying new clothes that made me look and feel good. I was just a whole new person. It felt great, and it felt good to be able to rely on a guy for once, and feel that he cherished me and he cherished my time and that he was willing to provide for me as well. That feels really good as a woman. But it wasn't all rainbows. In a life of wealth and very influential men, there are some cons. It can serve as a bit of an illusion. That man's money is not your money, which means when he leaves or you decide that you're not into it anymore, if you can't keep it up, that lifestyle is over. Also, to be in hypergamous settings, I developed a bit of a persona, which means that everything was always dependent on my performance in this persona. One cannot keep that up consistently. Sometimes you're gonna have bad days or you're gonna talk out of turn and stuff like that. And I never really felt that I could fully be myself with any of these guys. So unless I was gonna go for the Oscar, which is why I'm not with a lot of these types of guys right now, I decided it was like time for me to depend on myself. You know, although it looks nice online, a lot of these girls are very dependent on these men and how they feel. And a lot of them, like, you're basically a beautiful bird in a gilded cage, because you're if you're dependent on a guy for like your whole life and your lifestyle, then whatever he says go, and you can't be yourself. So when I started to realize that side of the hypergamy, like the hypergamous dating, the sugar baby dating, I started to pivot, which brings me to where I am today. One thing that started getting me to open my eyes and pivot back to where I am now today is realizing that the 99% of us women can't have the 1%. We just can't. As nice as it looks and as easy as it looks on social media, all of us vying for 1 millionaire is just, it's not realistic. It's not feasible. And there are a lot of very good, like wonderful blue collar men, hardworking men, 9-to-5 men that are just being passed over because social media has made it seem like the millionaires is just all there is and where it's at. And it's just not so. So while social media may look nice and you see all the live of a stay-at-home girlfriend, I realized that if you find a man with a good job or career, with a provider mindset, and he loves and cherishes you, then you've got the 1%. You've got a good thing. Like, essentially, you've won. Don't go looking at that green grass on the other side, baby, because it might be fake. It might be turf. What I learned when I was dating some of these wealthy guys is that some of these wealthy guys are cheap and stingy as all hell. If you've got something good right now, you don't want to drop a guy who is working to give you the moon every day for someone who owns the night sky but won't even give you a star. I've got a guy who basically works every day to give me the moon today. This is where I'm at now. And I had to learn to be content and appreciative of who he is. He's not some Joe Schmo millionaire, but I had to realize he doesn't have to, but he consistently does. And there's something to be said about that. So that concludes my journey from low maintenance, 50-50 girl to finding hypergamy and learning that there were some very good pros, but there is a dangerous and not so good side to dating men with a bunch of money, and solely if you're dating them for a bunch of money. Essentially, what you need is standards, and you need to hold yourself and the people that you involve yourself with to high standards, and you'll be much better off for it. He doesn't have to buy you Chanel and Fendi and everything like that all the time. But if he just makes you happy and he does try, he tries to romance you and stuff like that. I know social media looks great, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like, he's not perfect, but you're not perfect. So I think that's what people need to open their eyes to more so in the dating scene. But I hope you guys have learned anything from my experience. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. I'd love to see you guys in the next video. It'll be coming soon. You guys stay blessed, okay? Peace.